Hi everyone, it's Dawn here with a very brief video on Lent. Today is Ash Wednesday. It is the beginning of the Lenten season, which will last for 40 days. And Lent is an observance of, in the Christian tradition, of the 40 days leading up into Easter. And traditionally, it's been associated both with Yeshua's time in the desert, where he faced the temptations, and also again, that period leading up to the crucifixion and resurrection. And traditionally, people focus on the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross and typically give up something for Lent, which is a wonderful practice. I wanted to share a different perspective. For the last couple of years, well, actually, it's been about 6 or 7 years now, that I've really changed my perspective on Lent. And because I'm so passionate about the life of Jesus and that being the primary opportunity for us to really understand who we are as not separate from God, who is love, and from life itself, but rather to walk in the way of wholeness that Jesus taught us to walk in. As I have, focused more and more on that core essence of who he was and who he came to show us that we too can be. He said so many things about that in the Gospels. As I have done that, I have really begun to shift how I see Lent. And so I see it really more as an invitation to dwell in those things that are reflected so purely in the life of Jesus, who again came as God in flesh and dwelt among us. And in many ways, that the glory of that incarnation was missed in his life and time. And so if we look at Lent as a season and an invitation to dwell in those things that are most true, we can ask ourselves, what is noble and what is true and right? What is pure and lovely? What brings beauty to my life? What brings beauty to the lives of those around me? Both those who we love and honor and want to bring joy to, and the stranger that we run across in the course of our day-to-day lives. So while I don't always do this perfectly by any means, I have learned on my life's journey that the best way for me to guard my heart and mind and to return to who I know myself to be in Christ is to dwell on these things. And in times like today and this week and this year and all of human history, where there are a plethora of distractions and things that would so easily entice us away from what is most true. It can be difficult to do that, but it is worth the effort. And Lent provides a perfect opportunity to do that more consciously day by day in our journey. So just wanted to share that with you all and invite you to join me in really dwelling on those things that are noble and true, and a return to the innocence of who we are, meaning the fullness of who we are in these human vessels and the treasure that we carry, and to cultivate from our core so that we can water the world with the fullest expression of who we are. I want to leave you with a passage from Philippians chapter 4. In the early verses of that chapter, Paul says, "In every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." So if you do observe Lent, I just would invite you to join me in adding that to how you move through this season, to dwelling in love above all else, and to focus on the life that is at work within you, and the life and the life more abundant that we are invited into because Jesus lived and also died and was raised to new life And in the same way, we are always being raised to new life. This is a time of recreation in our world. We're moving into spring, which of course is a time of recreation as well. So the world needs us to embrace, despite anything that's going on around us or in our, life circumstances or even within us, to show up and tend to that, to be present to whatever is and allow for it, and also to lean into those the higher calling to return to what is noble and just and right and good and true and pure and innocent.